shared with us, quantum physics part 2, we're believing, putting out into the field with our positive energy that there will be a 3.
Nice.
You brought us the encouragement that we do have the power to impact our future. And you talked us through so much inspirational content, including historical references from various faiths over history to bring us to that understanding in terms of that framework of quantum physics. It was very engaging to hear you speak on this topic again, which you have a depth of mastery in. It's very clear you have a strong hold on this content. Tonight, I had the privilege of evaluating your speech from the frame of reference of being like a lecturer, because you wanted the experience of speaking behind a lectern as if you were a professor. I think you're well on your way. I could definitely imagine you in a collegiate classroom delivering a lecture, a very mini lecture on this topic. And I would sign up for that class. I would pay for that class to tear my So that was fun to see you from that frame of reference as though you were lecturing. You did throw in some footwork, and I'll speak to that and appreciate that you did that as well. You also asked me to think about your projection, the projection of your voice, the volume, because that's something that you wanted to work on, your footwork, being purposed. So I will speak about that in addition to various strengths that I saw exemplified tonight. So, and there are many. I want to start with vocal variety. Some of the science of likability and being listened to is having a voice characterized by musicality. And tonight, you demonstrated fantastic vocal variety. I noticed your ups and your downs. Your ups are very strong, so when you're emphasizing, the volume also is stronger. I noticed 2 or 3 times when you went to a lower intonation, and it was a little bit difficult to hear. But that was much improved as compared with previous speeches, so your focus on that has already yielded results. Very well done. So just note that when your voice gets a little bit lower in intonation, that's when you're at risk for the audience not hearing those words. That awareness will help you. Your gestures were fantastic. I'm running out of time, and I don't like that. So I have a lot I want to say about your speech, Alan. I might ignore it this time because there's so much there. Fantastic gestures, as you referenced, Buddha, Jesus, Solomon. Your gestures were very effective, and they reinforced the content that you were delivering. Very well done. Your use of rhetorical questions is strong. Your use of the floor, I noticed one really good example when you stepped away from the lectern. You were pretty well planted, and that was purposed. It was very clear to me that you did that intentionally and with confidence. I would challenge you to imagine your future self and how you would feel as your future self a little bit more firmly planted when you're not being intentional. Because we continue to have your feet moving a bit, which is a slight distraction to your audience. When you have such riveting content, that's just one bit of fine-tuning that will help us tune in even more to what you're saying. Very good eye contact, but you got feedback that you favor one side of the room more than another. I would echo Jackie's feedback about lingering a little bit more, not to be creepy, but to make a personal connection with a person that you're looking at. So dodgy was the word you used. It gets to be a bit jumpy if we move too quickly in our eye contact, but if you take time to make that personal connection when you're saying something, that's going to be more impactful as you're delivering your content. So feel free to linger just a little bit longer, and note that sometimes we favor some people or some sides of the room a little bit more, and that's just a personal awareness to practice. And finally, fantastic content, very, very strong. Some people were overwhelmed by the quantity of quotes. That might be something to consider trimming back as you had more content than fit within your time. And then unfamiliar name. I'm familiar with all of the authors that you cited, with the exception of Harame. And so because that name eludes me, I needed a little bit more time to dwell on it, or a little more unpacking. So that's some of the additional feedback that you'll get in your comments. Overall, an amazing speech, well delivered. You're making great progress. And consider that application of quantum physics in imagining your future self and what it would feel like to be more stabilized in your footwork. I look forward to Quantum Physics Part 3. Well done, Ellen.